Hot 93.3.
Hello, and welcome to the Ladies Lounge. You are listening to me, Dami OK, right here on the ones and twos. I know I keep saying that, but I feel like I'm a DJ or something when I say it, alright? Alright, welcome to the Ladies Lounge. Ladies Lounge is Hot FM's newest nighttime talk show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. So it's a new show that I host with BB. Obviously, she's not here right now. She is in the abroad, but she will be back soon. But we're right here every Wednesday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. right here on Hot 93.3. Here at Ladies Lounge, we aim to provide a platform whereby we discuss, inform, educate, and celebrate all things women. Yes, we'll be pushing the narrative and the envelope and changing, the way we're doing things, right? So to be sure to join us every Wednesday right here at 9 p.m. on Hot 93.3. Now, today's subject is rape culture. As I said earlier when I was on with Jasper, rape culture is what we're talking about tonight. I mean, it's in the light of this whole Busola Dakolo thing that has really rocked social media over the last couple of days, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon as well. But rape is a conscious process of intimidation wherein perpetrators keep women and children, especially, in a state of constant fear. Rape devalues the victim. It is a crime which stigmatizes the emotions, a crime of insult, oppression, and revenge that needs to be punished. Because a rapist is a criminal, for sure, and all crimes and their beneficiaries must be punished. Rape and other forms of sexual harassment need to be urgent, and they need urgent and serious attention of family, institutions, civil societal groups, and governments and international community as well. And also, if we really want to ensure a violence-free society for all, we need to pay attention to it. All right. There's not even a lot of hospitals don't even have rape kits, and victims blaming is really flourishing out here. I mean, we can really see it with this whole Busola Dakolo thing. But we got a lot of guests coming in today, okay? We've got Wumie in the building. We've got Lucy, our very own Lucy, our lady, our news girl. She's here too. We've got Tora. She's running a little late. I think the traffic is really getting her. And we've got Wolfeye coming in as well. Also, I think she's probably stuck in traffic too. So don't worry, they'll be right here in a few. For now, though, I'll leave you with Sadauda with Kalakuta.
Hot 93.3.
All right, welcome back. So we were talking about rape culture, and for now we have Wumie in the building. Okay, Wumie, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, let me run you your accolades real quick, okay? If for those of you who don't know, Wumie is the founder of Imani Help Foundation. She has over 10 years of experience in international development. She is a former United Nations policy advisor, and worked with the responsibility to protect GCR2P in New York. What's GCR2P?
The Global Center for the Responsibility to Protect. It's a Kofi Annan initiative that he founded before he stepped down or before he finished his tenure as Secretary General of the UN.
Oh, amazing. Okay. She's also passionate about ending the culture of silence when it comes to abuse and sexual violence by visiting grassroots primary schools to increase awareness in gender-based violence, adolescent sexual reproductive health, and female genital mutilation. She hopes to make an impact in social development. She has an MSc in International HR, another in Conflict Analysis and Resolution, and is getting her PhD in International Development and Peace Studies. So we've got a brainiac in the building, okay? I had to run you all of your accolades right there, okay? And Lucy is co-hosting with me today.
Hello.
She's another Hot FM, Hot FM OG.
I know, but just a small person doing my big thing this small week.
Yeah, you usually hear her voice at every 2 hours on the news, but she's here with me tonight as well. Okay, so we're talking about rape, right?
Yep.
And I'm sure you ladies saw this whole Busola Dakolo thing.
Oh, yeah. That shook the internet.
It shook the internet for sure. Wumie, I want to ask you, what did you originally, what was the first thought that came to your mind when you saw this?
First thought was, not again, Pastor Biodun. Not again. First time, you should have stepped down, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And now someone else has come out to say this, and you're there defending yourself. Come on. For the sake of your family, for the sake of the church, for the sake of the victims, come on. Yeah, I was livid. I was so upset. Still upset about the whole thing. I heard he stepped down though. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took a leave of absence.
Took a leave of absence.
He said he's consulting with other spiritual leaders around the world, and they have jointly told him that yes, he should step down. And I'm like, that's common sense, but okay, carry on.
And their silence really made me mad.
Volumes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Their silence. I mean, come on.
It speaks volumes.
But we could look at this in this sense of when such things happen, we don't just move to action. I think that's what's happening in the other side. That's Pastor Biodun's part, where everybody's trying to be like, okay, let us be calm, let us investigate this, let us be hasty to judgment. So, well, I don't know. I think that's one of the reasons why the church has been quite silent about this for now. But a lot of bodies like the Christian Association of Nigeria have come out to say, we condemn this. We are not saying he did it, but if he did do it, we do condemn it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like there's an undertone of a lot of people being like, nope, he didn't do it. We're behind him 100%. The devil is at work here, quote unquote.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even I watched her interview, the full thing, like not the clips that's roaming around Instagram, the full,
many clips,
the full thing
in the church,
and over an hour.
Yeah, like the whole interview.
Okay, I didn't see that then.
The whole interview. And sis, I'm telling you, when I say she had details of everything, like she remembered everything. You know what I mean? Like how she met him and everything, and it just sounded too simple for it to be a lie. Do you know what I mean? Okay. That whole thing of she was this young 16-year-old, and she met him through her sisters in the church. He was very like, oh, let me help you out with this and that. You're very quiet. You're a good girl. Da 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 da.
You have talent in singing.
You have talent. You know what I mean? Like complimenting her, then giving her gifts and stuff like that, giving her books and cassettes and all that. And then it became a situation. He's been to her house. So people were like, why would you let a pastor into the house? Like, who hasn't let their pastor in the house?
Exactly. A lot of people even go to their pastor's house and say, okay, they want to get something, which I wouldn't advise, by the way, if you're going alone. Yeah. But some people do, because of the trust that you have, because you think this is a man of God.
Yeah, he's not even going to be looking at me sideways.
He's God's anointed.
You're not even going to think that he's going to think that way.
Yeah. You're not thinking that at all. And, he's been to their house before when her mom was in the house, and he came to visit the house. Okay. So I'm sure this time when he came to visit, she's not thinking, oh,
he's coming to rape me.
He's coming to rape me.
Or let me dress up.
Let me dress up. I mean, it was literally, she was in her house in her PJs. Did she think that she needed, oh my God, let me put on a whole new outfit to open the door for my pastor? And she didn't even know who it was. She was like, oh, who is it? And then,
this early
in the morning, you know what I mean? And it happened. And what really struck me was what he said to her. What he said to her. He said that you should be happy. I'm the one that did this to you.
I'm the one that deflowered you.
Yeah, I am the man. I am a man of God that disvirgined you. And he said this while her blood was on the floor in that living room.
And did you see the comments?
Yeah.
Different comments.
Yeah, somebody said, if you're a virgin, how come there was just one drop of blood? Excuse me, were you there?
Let's quickly look at the rape culture. Let's look at what we actually call the rape culture. Yeah, it's more about promoting some things that are not or should not be promoted. Yeah, and then we have people in these kind of situations always having the blame game. Now, people begin to analyze every situation and then begin to bring up, I don't know, conclusions that are very weird, like what you just stated. Like questions like, why was she in her 90s? Yeah, why didn't she run upstairs to her sisters? There is something called shock, and there is something called reaction to shock. She opens the door, sees somebody. In her mind, what are you doing here by this time, is everything okay? Is there a problem anywhere?
Yeah.
Somebody pushes you, and people are like, "Why didn't you?" Immediately you saw it.
And
Why
it's
didn't you
fighting
why,
back,
why didn't you
blah, blah, blah.
run? And I
But it's like it's a pastor. Is she thinking, hey, pastor, let me run away from you? You
because
have
I think
What?
my senses is telling me that I should run, and then the person has to run away. I think people sometimes should understand that we all are wired very differently.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
And we do react to things very differently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I am not saying that all she said, even though a lot of people are standing for her, because to every story there are always two sides.
Yeah,
Trust
absolutely.
me, I know that some people might come for me and say, "Are you trying to say Pastor Biodun didn't rape her?" But to every story there are two sides. But I'm just saying that people react to things differently. So if she actually took this long to tell her story, then I think it's her person, and there's a reason why she did come out at this time.
Going off of that,
Okay.
I really commend her for actually coming out at all, because this is a really hard thing to do. I mean, this was how many years ago?
Almost 20.
19 years ago,
Almost,
roughly?
yeah.
Roughly 19 years ago. Do you know what that does, being silent for
19 years? Yeah.
Do you know how that eats your mind up?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my foundation, Imani Help Foundation, we talk to young girls about, we educate them on adolescent and sexual reproductive health, sexual assault, rape, gender-based violence. The reason why I founded that was because of my own experiences. It took I went through my trauma, and it happened to me when I was, for 3 years, from age 6 to 9.5. My parents had no clue that this was happening under their roof.
Wait, with who?
With my cousin.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Oh
Did
yeah.
you ever tell your parents?
Oh yeah. I didn't tell them till 2017.
Why?
2018.
Okay, you know what? This is a perfect example. Can you speak on why did it take you that amount of time
Many
to
layers.
speak up?
Many
Yeah.
layers. Many layers.
Okay.
And I found out after a while that most of the decisions that I made was because of that experience. For example, I studied psychology because I wanted to understand myself. I had like so many reactions, different behaviors. I was confused. Like, okay, back to the question. Why did it take me so long? When the ordeal used to happen, first of all, I thought it was a normal thing. I thought maybe this was something that was meant to happen.
What was the age gap between?
He was 11 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
11 years older.
11 years.
Whoa.
So he would threaten me and tell me not to tell anybody. And if I do, this would happen to mom and this would happen to dad. And the sick thing about this is I thought he was my brother. I didn't know till later that he was my cousin. So I thought, oh, maybe this is what brother and sister is meant to do. But it took me so long because I didn't know what to do with this information. Here's a guy telling me, don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
If you tell anybody, this is going to happen, or I'm going to kill you, or you're not going to see your mom again. So I'm like trying to protect them. And growing up in my family, we're really close. I didn't know how to say it. I was scared. I was just scared. I was scared.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to be tagged. I didn't want people to look at me and say, oh, that's the girl that was raped. I didn't want that stigma.
Yeah.
It took me so long. It took me like a whole ordeal of suicidal ideation
Yeah.
and wanting to end my life and getting irritated in my own skin. And my friends pushed me. They're like, you got to do something. You got to see a therapist. They didn't even know about it. I told them, like, guys, I think I'm running out of my mind. I need to tell you this.
Yeah.
And that's what prompted me to actually speak for the first time. And I told them, like, oh, this happened to me. And my friends on Skype, they were like, what? And we spent the next, like, 3 hours sobbing.
Wow.
But it took me, it's not a hard thing to come out to say.
Yeah.
And after 19 years, we should not be, like, we're not meant to be saying, oh my God, is it true? Is it not true?
Like, I've
We
dealt
should be
with it for
praying
19 years.
We should be
Exactly.
praying for her.
And kept it in for 19 years.
Yeah.
Like,
That-
it followed me
eats
everywhere
you.
I went
You
to for
think
19
about
years.
it. I used to have nightmares. I'll be like, okay, maybe this didn't happen. And I realized it happened when I told my sister, and she was like,
But
so she cussed him out, and he wrote a letter apologizing.
Oh,
That
what?
was my reality. That was like, oh, this actually happened.
Like, this really
This
happened
really
to me.
happened.
He really did this
Yeah,
to me. Wow.
So I hate it when I see things like, I saw a comment the other day saying, oh, this happened 19 years ago. God said forgive and forget.
Are you kidding me?
If this happened to your daughter, and you found out after 19 years, are you going to forgive and forget? Is it going to be that easy?
But we have some parents who actually know about these things
And they
still
exactly,
stay quiet.
exactly.
It's just a little bit of, I don't even know how to actually put it. We have parents who know about these things and be like, it's Pastor Kiniko now. You can't talk about him like that. What do you think people will talk about or say about our family when they hear that you're accusing a man of God? Don't you respect God? Don't you?
And you know what's crazy? Like what she said, what Busola Dakolo said was that her family and friends knew. They knew already. So I'm really wish I was a fly on the wall when that conversation happened. When she told her parents that, hey,
this is
my
what
pastor raped me. I wonder what her parents' reaction was, because why didn't they go to the authorities? Why didn't the parents rise up and go to the authorities?
Well,
why didn't her sisters rise up and go to the authorities?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's so many.
They reported it to the church.
They
reported
reported
it,
it.
and they said they were going to handle it.
Yeah, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
This is what I'm saying. Like, so many things, so many factors happened, and yet people are still here trying to say she did it for clout. And
I need to point this out. Like she said, while she was stating her story, that she actually thought it was normal.
Yeah.
Now, I had a conversation with a colleague today, and she said 18, 19 years ago, a lot of girls got disvirgined the same way.
Yeah.
But there was nothing as public as rape. So a brother or an uncle or a friend comes to you and says, come, let me just touch you small. It won't pain you. And those things happen, but they didn't target rape.
Yeah.
Probably because of this generation that we have now, that people are now coming out
People
to
are more
say,
educated about it.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have more cases of people come out to say they were raped, because according to what she told me, that means 80% of the ladies from her part will be coming out now and say, I was raped.
Yeah.
Whereas then, it wasn't rape.
It's the education.
So what do we call that?
It's the education. People don't know, and that's why, like, back to my foundation. That's why we do what we do, because, okay, you just said some parents know.
Yeah.
During one of our outreaches, this is gory information, giving you a heads up. During one of our outreaches, I had a girl come up to me and say, "Oh, auntie, you've taught about this. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but when I see my period, my uncle comes and touches me."
Wait, when she has her period?
So
When this goes 12. When she's on her period, her uncle comes and rapes her.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, wait, what? I wasn't ready. Oh my god. This was in 2015. I wasn't ready for this.
You know what? Let me run some facts real quick, right? This is proven facts, okay? In case we want to, as Nigerians, once again, sweep things under the carpet and say it doesn't exist or it's not happening. This is proven facts, right? In Nigeria today, the stats tells us that 1 in 4 girls, by the time they reach 18, would have experienced at least one form of sexual assault. That's 1 in 4 girls.
Yep.
Before they even reach 18. We are over 160 million, and half of the population are women. And half of the women under the age of 24, that's 10,000 women, 10,000 girls every day that are survivors of this horrific crime. Many of them have attended multiple events, and they are not aware of this problem, that this problem can be addressed. 10,000.
Every day.
all over the world.
Every day. No. In Nigeria.
They come in and go out of the country with that same thing.
10,000 women. Now, let me tell you something else that will blow your mind that I found out today, okay? A human rights lawyer, Evans Ufeli, has said that despite an overwhelming reported case of sexual assault, loads of sexual assault cases have been reported, Nigeria has recorded only 18.
I know.
18 rape convictions
Yes.
in its legal history. In the entire legal history of Nigeria. The entire legal history of Nigeria, only 18 cases have had convictions.
Yes. And
when we say 10,000 have been raped every day,
we have
only 18 in the entire lifespan of Nigerian law has been convicted.
Don't they feel the type of way? putting
18,
that out?
10,000, 18, 10,000. How do you, the maths?
Yo.
It doesn't even equate to like.
It's not even a 0.1%. It's not even.
It doesn't even equate. And the courts actually revealed that they did acquit most of these rape offenders due to the fact that there was no evidence. Listen carefully. There was no evidence, and sometimes the victim has a kind of questionable personality or outlook.
AKA, she wore a short skirt.
Oh,
Or
exactly.
she looked at me a certain way.
Or
She shouldn't have been out at that time.
The
or
behavior of the victim, in quotes. So when they look at you and you come to, oh, I was raped, and you're with probably a short skirt, you're like, why are you dressed like this? Come here. Those kind of things, those kind of questions begin to ask you. Such
you know what?
questions.
You're really triggering me right now. You're triggering me. Okay, you're triggering me.
I'm just adding to reasons.
This whole
we have.
conversation is a trigger.
Let's. I'm
We are
trying to
18
keep
people.
calm. I'm trying to keep calm so hard. You don't understand. Let's take a little quick break. Okay, we got NC Gray with Toxic Love.
The only companion you want on your drive home. Your drive home. Super Drive on Hot 93.3. Lagos.
Love right there. All right, so we have someone sending in a WhatsApp. You know what? You can hit us up on WhatsApp. You can send us voice notes on the WhatsApp portal, or you can just send us a message. And the number to text is 081-800-899-33. Or if you just want to join in on the conversation and give us a call, you can call us on 081-824-26591. Now remember, there's no foul language. I will hang up. There's no foul language. And also, please make sure you turn down your radio set all the way down before you give us a call, because it'll just interrupt the call altogether. So back to it. Someone said, "Good evening, ladies. I drew a lot of lessons from this incident. We are too insensitive to issues like this. Our parents are quite not well equipped to handle issues like this. The African-Nigerian conception of the church and their pastor vis-a-vis excess eulogy emphasis we place on our pastors, okay? Finally, more people would be coy to talk because of the high level of stigmatization in our society. I am enjoying the show." Oh, thank you. We don't know your name. You didn't give us your name. I don't know his name.
In Lagos.
Anonymous.
AKA Anonymous. Yes. Oh, he says his name is G Banks. Oh, wow.
Hey, G Banks.
Hi, G Banks. Thank you for sending us a lovely message there. Yeah, so you can also send us a message and let us know what you're thinking. Okay. All right, back to it. I love the fact that G Banks brought up the parents and what the parents' mentality is. The perfect example is that story of that little 4-year-old girl.
Exactly.
That we heard. I'm sure we've all heard of from, a while back, where a little 4-year-old girl was raped by the houseboy?
I think the cook.
The cook?
Yeah. Cook.
4-year-old baby girl. Now, what excuse do we want to give? What her pampers were showing?
Like,
What her crop top was too short? Like, what, she seduced the cook?
Exactly.
She's a 4-year-old.
Because
you know what I mean?
when you give excuse for rape and say, oh, you were dressing in this kind of way, or you were hinting it, you were smiling with the side of your lip, you were winking
What
with
excuse
all
can
your
we
eyes
give?
and everything.
Yeah.
What do we say
Did she
about
cry
babies?
seductively?
Yeah.
Or
What did she fall over and her pampers were showing that she just couldn't resist? What example? What excuse do you want to give?
Sickening to me.
You know what I mean? And what's crazy is that the dad completely denied it.
He's an example
This
of
child was
parent.
in a hospital bed,
He's an example
bleeding
of
out, and the dad was saying, "No, not my child. That didn't happen. It didn't happen."
That's what happened to the girl, the
Yeah.
12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
We got her parents involved.
Okay.
And they said it
We
didn't
went to
happen.
the police. We took her straight to the hospital. Took her to the police, and the mother, she said, "No, we can't have this happen in our family.
Exactly. I feel
We can't have this shame on our family."
why would parents want to protect such injustice, such immorality. I don't even know how to explain.
It's that shame thing.
Why are they so concerned about the
what
name
other people
and
think?
what other people
What
think
other people
than the
think.
sanity
What other people
and the peace
think?
of
What
your
will
your
people-
family
child.
member.
Yeah. What would people say? What would people say? What would people say?
That's the thing.
That I always use this saying, and I think I use it to death at this point. That whole "Pamisile, ma kwamisita," I use it so much at this point. I should have it on a T-shirt. You know,
Oh, that's a good one.
it's such a saying that it's like it's so relevant because it's a thing where it's like, oh, this happened. Oh, what a scandal. Yes, sorry, yeah,
Let's
but don't
keep
tell
it inside,
anybody.
yeah, let's keep it inside.
Especially if it was a family member who did this. You know what I mean? They'll be like, no, they'll protect the person. They will protect the person to the core. Like, so with that family, the mother was like, no, my daughter has been raped. I am taking this all the way. The dad denied it to the core.
No.
And I do not understand how this actually functions in society. Your own child comes to you and tells you this happens in confidence, and you are telling the child, you keep quiet, you don't know what you're saying. You
don't know
we
what
say
you're
all these
talking
things,
about.
allowing the child to express his or herself.
And then the child will grow up with so many mental issues. And then if, God forbid, the child commits suicide in future, and what are you going to say then? This child that you're trying to hide the situation. Now the child is gone. Now what?
Do you know what is even sickening? When a child tells the mother or father, this happened to me, and you're like, you two, what were you looking for in his room? Or why were you bending down there? I think when you begin to make excuses for these kind of problems, I feel such people are not even ready to become parents.
And you know what as well? You know, Ellen DeGeneres was this. What happened to Ellen DeGeneres as well?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it happens. It's not just us black people. It's white people too. Ellen DeGeneres had a stepdad, and he was doing this to her, but he didn't rape her, but he was molesting her. And she told her mom. It was when her mom had cancer. Her mom was in the hospital a lot, so he was the one who was taking care of her most of the time, and he was molesting her. And she told her mom when it was happening, she let it happen because it was like, okay, my mom is sick.
Yeah.
I can't come and tell her to add more trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's when you're a victim, it becomes a situation where it's like you're trying to protect everyone else around you, and you're like, people don't need my burden right now.
Right
you know
now,
what I mean?
Let me just
You hit that like so well.
People don't need what, like, I can't be bringing this trouble
This
to them.
burden. I
Yeah,
don't want to
this
add
burden.
to your burden.
Let me be sensitive
So
enough.
she didn't tell her mom until very much later when her mom was better, and her mom did not believe a word. Her mom didn't believe her.
Do you know
at all?
Do you know that sometimes people do not even need you to make a scene? They just need somebody who would believe their story and then help them through that trauma.
But I'm gonna say this. I feel like the movies, the literature that we put out there to people, it's not really showing what people. It's not a good example. For example, I remember growing up watching all these movies about, you know, don't say anything, or if you say this, that will happen. Or
have you watched that movie, Liar Liar?
What?
Liar Liar? The movie.
No, I never saw that.
It was a dad raping his own daughters.
Oh.
And they tried to make the little girl feel like she used a crayon to dispersion herself.
But you see,
rather than
watching things like that, like,
and it was a true story.
Personally,
true story.
Yeah, personally watching movies like that, you know, promote, especially like in Nigerian culture, promoting, you know, don't say this or don't say that.
Yeah.
It made me not want to talk. Because it's like, oh, well, if I talk, I guess I will burden my family, or I guess I will add to the trouble. So let me just keep quiet and not say anything.
Yeah.
So it's like everything that's out there, these are not things that would help victims.
Yeah.
To actually speak out. What
Yeah.
platform do we have to speak out?
I mean, look at this Busola Dakolo. Like, she's a grown woman. Like, she has her own money. She has her own family. She's her own support. She's fine.
She's more than okay.
She comes out with this, and people still, at her big age,
just shows you
saying
the
that
kind
she's
of
looking to ruin his
society
home. What does she gain?
Let me get you
in.
upset right now. Let me get you upset. I saw someone's WhatsApp status.
Just carry on. Just say it
It was
fast. Say it
5
fast.
words. It was 5 words. This was after like a whole series of annoying and disturbing messages on this topic. And the last thing was, please, can somebody rape me?
Wait, what?
I couldn't even ask anything. How can you, because in his view, he's like, this girl is drawing so much attention. Now she's so popular.
So
Can someone
if
please
it
come rape me?
happens, because
What is wrong with us?
Wow.
What is wrong with us?
Because at the end of the day, we had lots of people come out and say, "Oh, I think I was raped. I was raped. I was raped." So they feel,
Because this is the time.
because now people feel that, oh,
Time's
probably
up.
if I speak up,
Time is up. This
if
is
I
the
speak up,
time.
maybe I'll get as popular as this person. Probably that's what the
Yes,
person
yeah,
actually
that's
thought.
exactly what. This is the time for us to speak up. I thank God for social media. I thank God for globalization. Now I feel like my voice is so strong. So now when I go to schools talking to these girls who have no idea that they're being raped, no idea that there's a word, sexual assault, gender-based violence, female genital mutilation, where they clip off your clitoris.
Yeah.
They have no idea that this is wrong or this is not right.
Yeah.
So now I tell them, this is, we have a voice now.
Yeah.
Now we can talk and now we can say no. And if you're scared that someone is gonna, beat you when you get home, we have resources. We have other NGOs that we partner with and they can help you. This is a line you can contact. Mental health, this is a line. They will come meet you. You don't have to even call. You don't have credit. They will come meet you. Don't worry about it. This is my personal number. Because like I was talking to Lucy, I don't know how our parents did it, how they kept all this information inside
Yeah.
because of shame.
It's
Yeah.
that generation.
It's
But
that generation.
it's
Our
that
generation,
generation.
we're too rebellious.
Like now, everybody's speaking up.
No,
Like,
Jesus.
just
We're
now,
done.
Just
We're not having it.
Time's up. I'm gonna steal that. Time's
Time's
up.
up.
I'm gonna steal that. My next outreach.
Even what Dami said, what she said, only 18 cases so far right now.
10,000 people being raped every
10,000
day.
women
And
being-
only
and
18 in the entire
Seriously.
50-something
So
years
I
of Nigerian
I did
law.
speak with a legal practitioner on this. I was like, okay, so let's say somebody's being raped. What is the next thing to do? He says if there is no evidence under the Nigerian law, there is nothing that can be done. Because that's the only way you can actually prove that these happened to you. So it's a good thing that this is happening now. So it gives people the voice to come out
But you know,
immediately.
did you know that there in hospitals, like I was saying, there is barely any rape kits in
No rape
hospitals.
kits, yes.
There's no rape kit. So how can you collect
No
evidence
rape kits.
when there is no facility for the evidence to be collected?
Exactly.
But that's what the law says.
How does that make sense?
How?
What kind of law would put that in place and not put a way to implement that law in place?
Because we we have our rape kits.
Yeah.
But our society doesn't even, we can't, how, I don't even know where to start. Okay, God forbid this happens and they're able to conduct DNA or hair strands. They put
Something.
where do they take it to?
That's another thing. Because I feel that the moment it happens and probably you go to get it reported or you go to the hospital and get a statement, what's next after that?
Infrastructure
Yeah.
doesn't even allow you to use that.
So what's the point of having this law saying if there's no evidence? You don't even have any facilities
have
to
nothing put in
analyze
place.
the evidence.
So until that is changed, I don't think the
They
the
can't
rape
even
cases
say-
would even
And
increase.
if there is something, and maybe I'm just ignorant, I don't know, make more noise about it. People are making noise. People are coming out every day saying that this happened to me, that happened to me. Listen to your people. Instead, we're more focused on building.
when it comes to Nigeria law, it's not about the noise. Because naturally the law has to be objective. Like I said earlier, every story has two sides. Somebody is alleging something, and the person who has been alleged to have actually committed that offense has a right to speak up and say whether he or she did or did not do before investigation starts. So if the person is now denying, the person that is actually alleging has to bring up evidence and say this is how it happened, and make sure that your story is not like something they call cut and paste or patch.
But you know what it is as well? It's that whole, again, with that sense of shame and fear that creeps into you. I know that, again, from watching Busola Dakolo's interview, she literally said that instead of her to scream and cry when he left, that she was so much in shock watching her own blood on the floor that she literally, all she could think of was, I need to clean this up. So she cleaned up the blood. She ran upstairs to her mom's room. Her sister was home. Her sister was asleep upstairs. She ran upstairs to her mom's room. She pretended to fall asleep. But then she got up and she washed herself. She showered over 10 times because she felt so dirty.
People don't understand what this does to you.
She felt so unclean and dirty because she said that as the she was that one in the family that she was a virgin, and her older sisters just be like, keep yourself, we're counting on you, you're the good one. And you have that all on your head, and now it's like, I'm not the precious flower anymore. I'm not the jewel of the family anymore. I'm not that person that my family members looked at saying that I am the precious one. I'm the virgin of the family. I have been tainted. So she literally was physically trying to clean herself.
That's what happened. No, that's what happened.
That made me break down.
Yo, I went through a period where I felt so dirty when it hit me. Because like you said, a lot of mental,
it has its consequences.
You repress the memory. Yeah. You deny it ever happened. And when it does hit you that this thing happened, so many things you go through. Like I remember.
Yeah, no, somebody,
please. Yeah.
I don't know if the person wants me to say their name, but, this person said, good evening. 2 years ago, I got raped. On my way back from school, victims are scared to open up because it's like a shame to the family. All the guys I went out with in the past didn't want to go out with me because I was raped.
Interesting.
I'm taken aback.
That's exactly what this does.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'll be praying for you, and you know what? You should. We're going to reach out to you after the show is over as well.
I will.
Yeah, we'll reach out to you because. That's
what it does. That's the rape culture we're talking about. The stigmatization that you get from
this is heavy stuff.
Up.
This is real stuff.
The blame game that comes to it as well, and the people start telling you at home, oh, you're no longer a virgin. See you. And sometimes some families will make it that bad that when you want to get married, they give you off. Not as a normal bride, but please just take her. That also happens in our Nigerian homes.
Yeah.
So sometimes people just decide to keep it to themselves because they feel that it's better just me knows about this than the world knowing about it. But it also has its consequences when you actually keep quiet because your mental
you break down.
Is disturbed.
Oh my God! I wish my friends were here. You will break down when it finally hits. If you did repress the memory, when it finally hits, just pray that you have a good support system. And that's, if like Lucy, you got it so well. If you just have one person that will listen to you,
that's all you
and that's
need.
why even us, like as I always try to stay cautious. The people around me, and I try to listen because the day that I came out with my story, I had out of 5 friends, I had 2 very good friends of mine tell me that they also got raped, assaulted when they were younger.
You don't know what people are going through.
Don't know.
You don't.
Men and women, you do not
Men
know.
and women alike,
So you gotta listen. This might be your sister, your brother, your auntie. You have to listen.
The last thing a rape victim needs from you is for you to freak out when he or she's actually telling you that story.
Yeah.
The person is telling you I was raped. And you're like, oh my God. You need to be as calm and allow the person speak while giving that person that assurance that you are listening and you'll be there for the person.
Absolutely.
Because give me a hug.
It has its consequences. It goes a long way. It follows you for years.
Yeah.
I've accepted it. I've accepted that I'm a rape victim, but I don't say I'm a rape victim. I'm a survivor because
this
time 2 years ago, I'm a survivor.
That's a better word.
Hey, we're all survivors.
You're a survivor. Absolutely.
This time 2 years ago, there's no way I could have said this story without crying. I would have bawled my eyes out like,
girl, I feel emotional right now. I feel like I should have brought tissues in here.
I know, because I can see you. I don't have a tissue for it. That means emotional.
The only companion you want on your drive home. Your drive home. Super Drive on Hot 93.3. Lagos.
She's really sad.
She's really holding that chest like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I think about it sometimes.
She's already crying and I can't hug you.
Damn it.
Oh my, uh-oh.
It's okay. That's the thing. Oh, you know what? There's actually something that I want to do.
Damn, don't do that.
Oh my God, guys. Please.
I can't handle 2 people crying because when you start crying, she starts crying. And I'll be the only one here not crying. And I'll look like the one with the hot heart.
We are survivors. There's so many of us out there, but we're all survivors. And one thing I want to do is to show other people out there that are still silent and are still done about this, that everything is going to be fine. Like, I'm trying to look for women who have gone through this, men and women who have been traumatized, like who have gone through things, but they have come out stronger.
Exactly.
I need us to stand up and be good examples, be exemplary icons to other people that it's still hard for them to talk about this.
It's really hard.
We need to tell our story, not just to tell our story like, oh, I'm a survivor, but to show other people that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know the number of friends in New York that committed suicide because this was too heavy a burden for them to share. It's men and women.
You can't explain it if you've not been in that.
In Nigeria, we play with this too much. We play with this.
You can't explain it if you've not been in there. And at the end of the day, if you don't, like I said, we don't have a good support system, it takes you away from the world.
Support system.
And before you know, you begin to hear voices telling you, I think we should just end this. Let's end this pain. Let's end this torture. Let's end this. And before you know, you're taking your own life.
You know what it is? I feel like parents don't talk to their kids enough.
They don't.
About this thing. Like I was saying it to my cousins. I have a lot of young female cousins from the age of 19 and under, right? And they're all beautiful. They're all beautiful. They're so beautiful that I get scared because I'm like, if anyone.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So we actually. Oh, God. You know what?
I'm always talking to them, you know, in such a way because I don't know what story was it that came out when you have to talk to them and you have to tell them, listen, if any kind of uncle talks to you in some sort of way, I don't care if he's blood related to us, you need to tell me.
Yeah.
If you're not going to tell your mom, you need to tell me. You know what I mean? Because I know myself. I know growing up, because thank God I was a loudmouth kid. Thank God that I was that child that was very defiant. But if there's the quiet ones that are the easy targets. You know what I mean? But I was so loud that if someone said something to me, I'd just repeat it. And I'd just be like, what? What are you talking about?
Thank God for that.
You know what I mean? I was that kid. But, you know, I have the little cousins that, you know, they're more quiet. They're victims. You know, those are the ones that they could easily get to. And that whole be quiet, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
I have had, the amount of times I've had, you know, family functions and parties and stuff like that. And some random uncle will come up to you and try to tell you to come outside to have a conversation or try to talk to you and say they like you and all
Why
this.
can't you talk about it here?
You know, and your mom is right over there. And they're still having this kind of conversation with you. And I say it to the girls, I'm like, let's not be afraid to talk about sex.
Yeah.
Let's not be afraid, because our parents don't touch boys. That's the end of the conversation. You'll get pregnant. That's the end of the conversation.
Get pregnant. All those things have
you need to
stop.
have a conversation with, especially the little ones.
Oh yeah.
Listen, these little kids, they know what their pee is or what that's what they call. You know what I mean? Listen, tell your kids, if anybody touches you here, tell me it's wrong. Tell them it's wrong and tell me it's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You know, tell your little kids that. Don't hide. You thinking that you're shielding them from the world? You're hurting yourself and you're hurting your child.
And they don't realize that some of these kids are actually exposed to
They're
more
so
things than they can even
Hello,
imagine
this day and age.
right now. So even if you're saying, oh, my kids don't have access to the phones, they don't have access to internet, trust me, they go to school.
They know more than you
They
do.
have conversations with their classmates. They hear things even when their teachers are talking to each other. So they know stuff. So I think at this point in time, parents shouldn't shoot their children away.
This
You
is
know what?
not. This is 21st century.
Exactly.
Like,
You
this
know-
is different. Things are different now.
When your child wants to talk to you, allow the child. Allow the
Allow the
child
child to speak.
Be
Don't just
free.
say shut up and go get out of
you go
here. Go
inside.
to your, you know?
What are you talking about?
One
All
thing
of
I'll
this
say
happening.
is
child.
I'm very grateful, like, to my family, like, my parents, because I couldn't even tell them. I wasn't ready. I mean, I told my sister, my two best friends, that I was like, okay, I'm done. But my sister's like, you gotta tell mom and dad. Yo, she flew down from Belgium. She was like, and she told them, and I was sleeping, and I woke up, and I just saw my mom and dad, like, sitting at the edge of my bed. And I tell you, like, till today, whenever I'm home, I wake up, and I see my mom sitting on the bed looking at me. I'm like, Mom, he's not gonna come do it again. That was back then. It's okay now. Like, I appreciate the concern and the like. I know now it's really hard on them, and that's part of why I didn't want to tell them. I'm like, it's gonna be so hard on mom and dad. Like, how are they gonna take this?
Yeah, that sense of, oh, I failed my child.
Yes,
you know.
And she says it all the time. She's like, I failed you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, well,
it's happened.
It's happened. I came out better.
In case you've ever been raped, I need you to understand that number one, it is not your fault. And
it is not your fault. It is not your fault. It is not your fault.
If you have a good support system, like your family members, your parents, your friends, it is not their fault either. So do not blame yourself, one, and do not say you're trying to protect other people. That's why you're not speaking up. Speak up so people can actually help you.
And you can also join in on the conversation. Even if you want to keep your name anonymous, you can call us on 081-824-26591. You can also send us a voice note on the WhatsApp portal on 081-800-89933. Share your thoughts. Send us a text. If you want to be anonymous, that's fine too. Let us know. Right now, we'll take a little break. We've got Eminem featuring Rihanna with Love the Way You Lie. The message that this song has is it just speaks volumes, and don't be afraid to speak up, right?
Hot 93.3.
Know someone who was in that situation and you want to share it, you can go ahead and share it. It's a safe space right here on the Ladies Lounge. You can send it to ladiesloungeshow@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on the WhatsApp portal on 081-800-89933. You can send a voice note, or you can send us a message, and also the number to call if you want to give us a call as well on 081-824-26591. All right, so enough with the emotion. I'm so sorry, guys.
We had to use tissue upon tissue upon tissue. That couldn't stop. She was like, "Oh my god!"
I'm so sorry, guys. I just got so overwhelming because I was just literally thinking about. I have a lot of I have a big family, right? And I'm the oldest female cousin, right? I only have one other person who's older than me. He's a guy. He's 3 years older than me. But I'm the oldest female, and our family is really, really close. So it's practically like brothers and sisters rather than cousins. You know what I mean? And I've got about 6 female cousins that are 19 and younger. So I'm very, very attached to this conversation, especially when some of them have told me some crazy things about, older people trying to hit on them and stuff like that. Sometimes, let me tell you, even my own guy friends.
Oh, God.
Even my own guy friends. I remember one time when, not necessarily, he wasn't as close to me, but it was someone like, I'm cordial, I'm cool with, right? And she came to me, one of my cousins came to me, and she was like, he just asked me out. And I was like, what do you mean he asked you out? She says, yeah, he asked me to go on a date with him and to come over to his house. And I was like, excuse me? He did what now? Oh, and then she's like, yeah, he told me not to tell you.
Bad intentions.
All the way. Oh yeah, by the way, Taurus here with her lateness. Tora made it.
Sorry, some real BMT Nigerian time. Sorry, man. Traffic, man.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, this, and you know what? I really want to delve into this whole double standards thing, because it really boils down to that sometimes, right? Where, let's give a perfect scenario: twins, right? I think I gave this scenario earlier today. Twins, right? A boy and a girl. We will tell the girl, don't touch boys. Come home early. Don't dress like this. Don't do this. Don't talk to boys. Don't do this, don't do that. That's what we'll say. The boy would come along. He can come home whenever time he wants, right? And at the same time, we'll also go play, be joking with him, like, oh, how many girlfriends do you have?
Yeah.
How many, like, you're encouraging them to have several women around them, okay? First of all. And also, you don't even tell a little boy, listen, if a girl says no, it means no. If a girl tells you she doesn't want you to touch her, do not touch her. But we tell girls, stay away from boys, or stay away from boys. Yeah. Meanwhile, another mother is telling their daughter to stay away from your son.
I think that's the biggest issue with the culture here and a lot of other, countries, not just third world countries, first world countries. the men are not taught accountability, and even just predators in themselves, they're kind of given, I feel like they're just given too much leeway. Let's take the UK, for example. When you look at their laws in regards to paedophilia, somebody who is selling maybe like something like cannabis can get a longer sentence than somebody who's a pedophile. Like, hello, how does
that even tally?
how does that tally up? So when you just look at the statutory limits when it comes to rape and the way the judiciary system is designed when it comes to, people who commit these offenses such as rape and pedophilia, they're actually really, they're protected by the law in some kind of ways. I think it's a big issue. It's a really, really big issue.
Just remember we were talking about it earlier, where the age of consent in Nigeria is 11 years old.
Yo, I don't want to start talking about
what makes you believe that an 11-year-old
child will know when to say yes and no?
when to say yes and no to sex? An 11-year-old.
That whole thing.
The age of consent in Nigeria is 11.
horrible.
And also, did you know that there's no real
idea it was
law
11.
against molestation?
No, there isn't.
There isn't any law against molestation in Nigeria.
There isn't. I didn't know it was 11 though, because quite recently, so there's this quick story. There's this young girl that lives on my road. Really, really sweet. Like, I've probably known her. I've seen her grow up. She was really small. She's grown and, become a teenager. And I hadn't seen her as of recently, and she's always somebody that runs, oh, Auntie Tora, gives me a big hug. So she's quite, every time I come home, so she's quite rememberable,
Yeah.
And the fact that I hadn't seen her, it crossed my mind, but I didn't think too much of it until I was talking to my driver, and he was like, so mentioned a guy that he's in Kiriki. I said, why? He said, because the police came to carry him away because he slept with this girl, that the girl has belly. I was like, so that's why I haven't seen it. He said, no, yeah, they've carried her away and she has belly. And he was like, actually, the police came and collected a whole bunch of those guys. These are guys outside of my house. I was like so disgusted. He said that they had actually collected a bunch of them and they were all in Kirikiri, maybe like 10 of them. I was like, why? Because they had all slept with this girl. This girl is 14.
Oh my God.
And then what got me even more mad, the guy was like, my driver was now like, he tried to say something slick like, that she's been, cause I was like, oh my gosh, poor girl, like, what the hell? All these guys, like, what happened? Was it all at the same time or different? He said, no, that she's just been running around with these guys. Like, she knows what she's doing. I say, you're mad. And like, the way I switched in the conversation, I was like, how does she know what she's doing? She's 14 years old. I said, if that was your sister, do you think your sister at that age will know what she's doing? He said, yes, auntie, you are right. He really knew to finish the conversation real quickly,
Okay.
But my point is that they only got arrested because she was showing she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And they realized
so that
there
was enough evidence for them.
For them to say that these men had to take some accountability because she's 14 years old. So, it's
and you know what? It's this whole thing of like, that whole like, these young girls are fast.
Yeah,
they know what
they
know what they're doing. How dare you tempt me?
They have to know what they're doing.
I am an animal and I can't control myself. That is how we think of men. That's how men think of themselves. Because this is the excuse they give themselves.
Yeah, because I'm a man.
A man will be a
man.
What does that even mean?
Do you know, right? I used to live in the Middle East. I worked in Saudi Arabia, right? And I am convinced this country is systematically designed to oppress women, nothing more and nothing else. And everything is about, the woman must cover up because she's tempting the man. The woman is not, she's out to seduce the man. She's impure if she doesn't cover her head. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have anything wrong with Islam, the religion, and the practice of, wearing hijabs and stuff like that. But, when we now use that to justify, societal immorality, because that's what it is, especially against one particular sex. It's wrong. It's wrong.
It's absolutely wrong. And I feel like that whole thing of, why don't we teach boys to control themselves? Why do we teach girls that, these boys are mad, it's almost, why don't we just teach our sons?
It's all education. It's all education.
When you're tempted, control yourself.
Yeah, but we're talking about a country that does not formally teach sexual education in schools.
We actually talked about earlier. And so it's high time people start talking about it from an early.
Talk to your kids about sex. Stop doing this. When you get old, these kids are going to find out about sex whether you like it or not. Whether they'll find about it from your brother who's raping them, or they'll find out from school, or they'll find out from their mates,
or online,
especially online.
And that's the worst.
You know what I mean?
Unfiltered.
It's unfiltered.
Questions anymore.
When you're imagine surfing the internet, right? All those things that pop up.
Yeah.
The pop-ups. Yeah. Porn pops up.
Oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Jenny. You like
your area?
And
2 miles around.
And people don't understand the impact that has on like young children. How traumatizing that can actually be to them when they see things like that without being prepared.
Yeah.
Mentally.
I actually read a study where it's like, stop changing in front of your kids.
Oh really?
Stop changing. Yeah. Stop changing in front of your children. Like, stop being naked in front of them, especially when they're of a really young age, because they don't know what it's like to have puberty yet. So then it's like, why don't I have that? What's that about? And they get curious.
Why would you want to change in front of your kid in the first instance?
Just think about it. Moms, grandmoms, they just whip it off. They just take
I'm coming now, and then
and they just take it. They just take it off. Do you know what I mean?
One thing though that I know that we do here is we allow like cousins to like bathe each other.
Put the kids in the bath
male
together.
And female, bathe together. And I know and I know like that's one thing that like caused like my incidents to happen, because my cousin, like, even though he was 11 years older, we used to bathe together.
What?
Yeah, we used to bathe together. So you see this boy and he's seeing that and he's like, I like that. I want that.
Crazy.
And this is a 6-year-old girl. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want? But okay, I know that unfortunately that is our reality. There's no education, but I know that a lot of people are standing up and trying to do things. So, like my foundation, Imani, we don't educate just girls. We also talk to boys.
Have to.
So it's girls and boys that we educate on gender-based violence.
Yeah, let's speak on that, because I know I saw it online that Dotun he came out as well saying that he was sexually abused as a child.
Yeah,
as well.
at 11 or something.
Yeah, at 11 years old. And that really took me aback, because I remember one time I was with a group of friends, guy friends, and we were having like a night, just a chill night, and we were talking, and how the amount of guys in the room said, yeah, I was molested by our house help. Yep, I was molested by our house help.
Yeah.
So many of the boys. And I was so shook. That was like, I'd never been in that situation. I've never heard of a guy, like, I know it happens, but I've never been personally attached to someone who has been molested. You know what I mean? I've never met a guy, like a male who has been molested or raped or whatever. I have never been in that. I've never seen that. And for him to speak up, I really commend him on that. And also, it's something that we need to talk about.
We do.
Because men are just told that they have to be a big boy. They have to man up. Toxic masculinity, up and down.
You can't cry. You're not meant to cry. You're not meant to show weakness. You're not supposed to be weak in any point, at any point in time. You just have to be strong.
Has anyone ever seen that movie, October 1st?
No.
Y'all never seen it?
No.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God. Y'all need to watch it.
Will I cry?
Yes. Well, not necessarily cry, but it's about it's Independence Day.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily about independence. It's just around that time, and it just kind of speaks on the Vatican, priests, young boys, all of that. But it speaks on a story that hasn't been told before, which is the Nigerian story. Yeah. Right? Because we did, obviously British rule, and the British were leaving around that time. Yeah. And there was Catholic schools, right? There were priests.
Ugh.
They were little boys.
Gosh.
So it speaks on a story of two boys who were both raped repeatedly by their priests, and it was a thing. Like he did it all the time to them. They didn't talk about it. They didn't even talk about it to each other.
Yeah.
But they knew it was happening, and it showed how two of them went on completely different paths. You know, one. He had a complex. He's raping women everywhere because he felt like, no, I have to prove to the world that I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm not gay. I'm not into this stuff. Even though he was raped by a priest, you know what I mean, all of the time. But then the other one was, I have a son now. I'm trying to teach my son the right. I have to do right. I have to constantly work so hard to prove that I'm a man as well. Like I'm in a different type of way. Do you know what I mean? And the way the story unfolded, that's all I'm gonna tell you about it. But it just shows like, yeah, you know, sorry. Wow. But it just shows you like, listen, this whole thing. It's everywhere. Why are people so like? You know what it is? Yeah, Nigerians, Africans, we carry pastor on our head like this. Like we carry pastors on
Pastors are gods.
Pastors
Well,
are
let's
gods.
just say religious leaders.
Religious leaders. Yes, you know what? Religious leaders. We carry them on our heads. Trust me, I'm a devout Christian, and I'm the type of person I don't want to get close to my pastor.
Why
Great
not?
preacher, everything, but when familiarity breeds.
Oh yeah,
That's interesting. So you keep him at arm's length.
I keep him at arm's length. Like,
But that's your pastor or your
like,
priest.
Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm the kind of person
You don't go to confessions.
I'm not a Catholic.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not a Catholic. So it's a thing where it's like, I go, the pastor preaches, that's great sermon. On my way.
Bye.
You know what I mean? If I want to seek counsel, get on my knees. I get on my knees and I pray to my God, and I want to hear from Him. I want to hear from the Holy Spirit. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do that thing where you, like, before I drive this new car, the pastor must
pray.
Before I buy this new thing, the pastor must know. Before I travel, the pastor must know. Why? What is wrong with your tongue? God said you could testify with your own tongue. What is wrong with your own mouth that you can't pray on your car? It's okay. It's great that you want your pastor to pray in your car, but he is not the be all and end all of your life. Do you know what I mean? The religious leader is not because that the pastor there, he is not the be all and end all of the church. The pastor can step down. The church remains the same, right?
Yeah.
So why are we carrying this?
we idolize our
pastors.
Which is wrong.
And you know what the crazy thing is? Who brought this religion to us? White people, right? But here we are, the Vatican. The minute a priest, there's some suspicion that a priest slept with a little boy or raped a little boy, impeachment. They're like, okay,
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
They all know that it's happening.
Do you know what I mean?
So once it starts, once it becomes public, then
get
it's
rid of
issue.
them. But with us, no. The person is a liar. How could they do this?
I think
they're trying to tarnish his name. That's what's happening here.
I think it's interesting that you spoke about, people kind of not talking about it. I think not just here in Africa, but I think it's very prominent in Africa because, rape is prominent. Child molestation is very prominent. We have one of the highest rates in the world, and you talking about this October 1st kind of portrays that we sort of have this whole generation, of people that were molested as children that have grown up and they've not spoke about it, and when they do speak about it in the future, they're kind of chastised and condemned. And I think society has this, which is really horrible, this warped view about how victims should be and how victims should behave. And I've noticed when somebody comes out and speaks about, being victimized in sexually or or being abused in any kind of way, it's always like, why are you talking about it now? Why are you doing
why
like
now?
Why now?
Like with Busola Dakolo
Yeah.
and her story. I was really disgusted about the way, people sort of kind of came out and just sort of crucified her for telling her truth,
That's
telling her story.
Yeah.
We should
Very
be praying
late.
for her. We should be supporting her
We
right
should be
now.
supporting
I feel
her.
like regardless of whether you believe it's true or whether it's you believe it's not true, you can't negate the fact that somebody is coming out and saying that I was a victim or I am a victim. I have been a victim. I'm never ever gonna dismiss anybody for saying that they're a victim.
Absolutely.
I'm never gonna put you down for saying, like, you know, we have this thing, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly.
Right? So I feel like someone has that right to come out and say, you know what? I've been victimized. And whether you believe it or not, you have to accept that this is something that possibly could have happened.
Yeah,
it's the
don't
same
just
with
shut
the
it down
R.
straight
Kelly
away.
case, you
Yeah,
know.
don't shut it
And
down.
people were too quick to shut it down because he was this artist and this and this and that. Even with Michael Jackson. See, when that Michael Jackson documentary Leaving Never Neverland came out, the thing pained me because I literally, my insides were like crawling like, oh my God, it's possible this man was legit a pedophile. Like, you can, and people were coming out saying, oh, that why they're talking about it now. Didn't they get money then? But when you actually hear the story, this is a possibility. Why can't you accept that this
That it could
is
be
a possibility
Don't
and
knock people
have
down.
some kind of
People-
sympathy and compassion?
People never have empathy unless it's
Something is someone's close to them.
If I'm not related to the victim, I don't care.
I don't care. That's what it is.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
My simple advice is when you hear a story, it's a two-way thing. It's either you speak and speak sensibly or
Don't say
speak
anything at all. Keep quiet.
just
Just
be quiet.
Will you
And-
keep shut?
and
That's
just
all.
monitor and observe as things unfold.
Absolutely.
Because if it is you, you know you will probably not. So just, I think the best thing is when you
keep
see
quiet.
things like this, it's either you keep quiet or you comment
Don't-
sensibly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The number to call is 081-824-26591. We want to hear from you, men and women alike. I want to hear you guys talk to us and let us know. There's some people sending some messages on the WhatsApp portal. You can message us on the WhatsApp portal or send us a voice note as well on 081-800-89933. Let's get back to music real quick. We've got Mario with Crying Out For Me.
Hot 93.3.
Today, well, we broke the table. I'm telling you, people are sending in messages. It's really resonating with some people. Someone sent in, Samuel from Ikorodu. I'm from Ikorodu too. Hey, he said, "Good evening, guys. I'm sorry to say this, but it's just true. This country is doomed. There are too many things that are not just right. But on this rape thing, I believe jungle justice will be the finest solution."
Okay.
No.
But he should know that
Hold on, it's still not finished. As for the pastor, Biodun, and the lady, my question is just that why must the lady keep quiet all this long before coming out to say this now?
Wow.
To me, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not supporting the evil pastor for what he did then anyways, but yet her own part of the story too, gosh, it doesn't add up. She even stayed in the church till now. She got married in there. The rapist was still the man who blessed her marriage, and now this. I don't think that's true. Is it true?
I think it's true.
Is it?
Even if it is true,
And he gave gifts too.
people need to understand the mentality of women, the statistics behind women who are in abusive relationships. Statistically, it takes them a minimum of 7 times to leave that relationship. Some people never leave, right? And she was clearly in I'm not saying it's a romantic relationship, but you know, like you said, Dami, about that familiarity.
Yeah.
She had that.
Yeah.
You understand? So when people are in that situation and they stay, that is not a reason for you to justify that, oh, maybe it didn't happen. It still does not negate from the fact that this did not happen or this may have not happened. You don't understand people's psychology when they've been a victim or when they've been violated. especially if it's physically or and on a mental level as well, especially if it's somebody you know. Typically, most rape victims know their
perpetrators.
They know the perpetrators.
They
trust them. They're people that they let in.
Yeah.
So I think it's very ignorant, and I say it in the most respectful way, to say, oh, it doesn't add up. Because if you read about rape and the statistics about rape and the statistics about people that are being victimized, and how it affects them psychologically, then you would understand that it's very much a possibility. So I just want to say that's it's a bit ignorant to think that,
Womie, I mean, what do you say to this guy?
What's his name?
Samuel from Ikorodu. What do you say to him? Because you were, one of these people who didn't come out for how many years?
9, and finally I was 28.
So it was 9 years.
No.
19 years.
19 years.
So it's almost like.
So Womie didn't. That's somebody's entire life. Like, let me tell you, Womie did not come out with this story for 19 years as well.
Yeah.
So it's not an uncommon thing, and it's not because
Samuel.
I'm trying to sabotage this person. That's why I'm not coming out now.
It's not unusual.
It's not unusual.
It's a Samuel. It's not easy. I mean, let's just start from the beginning. I was 6 years old.
There you go.
I was 6. Just look at a 6-year-old next to you, your 6-year-old sister or someone. So I was 6. And it wasn't easy. I mean, I had this perpetrator hold me down and tell me every day that he would kill me if I tell anybody. So I grew up with that. I was scared. I felt worthless. I would cry incessantly. I just break out crying. And my mom would be like, "What's wrong?"
What's
like
wrong
nothing.
with you? Yeah.
But I would look
Trouble
at
the
them.
moods.
Yes, I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't. It didn't make sense to me. Like, Womia, why are you crying right now? Just stop it. I became my best friend because I would talk to myself all the time. But I would look at my family and I'm like, they don't need to hear this information because it's just gonna burden them.
Yeah.
We were going through our own things. So even if we're happy, they're so happy. I don't want to ruin the mood.
So how did your family take it when you did come out?
Oh yeah, I shared the story. My sister told them. Actually, I didn't. I wasn't
What
ready.
what about the guy? Like, what? Where was he when this all happened?
What happened?
When they found out?
Yeah.
He was in Arizona. We were in New York. He said.
So what was his what was the
My family
ramifications?
didn't reach out to him. I asked for that. I don't want anything to do with him. All I asked for was his family, that they just watch the women around him.
Yeah, the young children.
Because he got married to
He's married.
Oh yeah, he's married now.
Was-
And
wow.
when he got married, my sister was around the area, and she said his stepdaughter hates him.
Probably.
I'm like,
right.
oh my god,
Oh, what
Oh
if he's
my
abusing
God.
her?
Ugh.
Especially it's a stepdaughter.
stepdaughter.
What if he's abusing her?
So I feel like part of me is like upset with myself because I know that I should do something about that, but a part of me I'm not ready to deal with that. I don't know. It's hard. So Samuel, it's hard.
Talking about it is the first step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the first step. But Samuel, please don't go around telling people how they should tell their truth or speak about their truth, or when nobody tells you how you should eat or when you should eat, or unless it's my mom, and she'll be like, stop eating like that. But other than that, no one's really going to tell you how to breathe, how to eat, how to sleep, or do the things that are personal to you. So you can't,
We're trying to
judge
get
how
better.
somebody
We're trying
does
to get better.
that.
Yeah. Okay, so I know that we have touched a lot about rape and the allegations. Now, we should also not forget about the false accusers, those who use, who play victim to try to either gain clout or to try to implicate somebody. What do you think can be done about such people? because people will come out and say he raped me, and sometimes it may not be the case. I am not saying that most of the or some of the stories are not true. I'm just saying there's a possibility that sometimes the stories are not true. So what happens then?
It's tricky.
They should think about it before they start making false accusations. No, for those of you who have done it or thinking about it, that is a very selfish thing because you are downgrading or just making futile all our efforts.
Because I think that's one of the reasons we have people not believing. Because somebody has probably cried wolf at some point and said, "Oh, this happened," and it actually did not happen.
People cry wolf, but that's the whole point of, investigation and it being investigated thoroughly and
that's
properly.
That's why today they're doubting.
That was why I said. That was why I said at the beginning. I was telling them. I said that the law states that even though. So I'm like, no,
I'm listening.
She says, the legal practitioner I spoke with says the law states that even if you're making such allegations, you must provide evidence because there's always two sides to the story.
But it's hard. It's a thin line, especially when it comes
because of such situations where we have people who lie about these things. Yeah. It makes it hard for people to believe you because people have lied about it, and then things like that actually do happen.
Sorry, guys. We're trying to get a hold of a certain person.
Okay.
That has been on with us back and forth. Okay. So if you are listening, please turn on your radio set as the phone is ringing. So please turn on your radio set. Hello. Good evening. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
We're good, honey. So. We thought we'd give you a call since you've been talking to us on the WhatsApp portal back and forth. What input would you like to put in, darling? The floor is yours. Whenever you're ready.
All right. My name is Leah, and I was like 2 years back, and I was kind of depressed, like terrified though. Yes, and I'm so scared right now.
That's okay.
I want to say something. I think we should bring more of a talk show like this, where we could come out and talk about what has happened to them in the past like this. Not just this, it could be something else. And also, what if you go, I want to ask a question. What if you go with someone you don't know and you have no idea of it, you've never seen your life, and it's dark and blank and you don't know what's happening? And you go to the police to explain. What's the proof? Like, what do you do? When they ask you the proof of you being raped or the person, how do you go about it?
How do you go about what? Sorry.
How do you go about it when they ask you for the proof?
Proof after being raped by somebody you don't know.
Yeah. The thing about it is, what it is you need to go to a hospital immediately.
You have to report it immediately.
And you have to report it immediately as well. And you make sure you do not have a shower. You do not clean yourself. You go to the hospital and you get them to take a test. If there's a rape kit, they need to use it or take swabs or samples of possible DNA that has been left on your body. That is usually the method of how to get proof.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like if it's a situation where if you were I know this is graphic, but if you were a virgin and if you were bleeding or some sort of way, I think also pictures. I don't know.
What's really important is, and this is where I feel like this is what needs to be the education that needs to be taught, especially in schools. I personally feel so. I don't think many people might agree with me, but it needs to be reported immediately. And a lot of people don't understand that, it's actually really, really difficult. Because if you've been victimized or violated in that way, the first thing most people want to do, they want to shower, they want to clean, they want to get rid of what has happened immediately.
Yeah.
And that is probably the most opposite of what you could do. It's very counterproductive to do that. You have to go to a hospital immediately.
And I think the rape offenders understand that that's what you would want to do, and that's why they continue. So you have to try your best to make sure you have proof so that you can be able to file a complaint.
Yeah, but I want to know, how are you right now?
Still okay. 2 years now, and I still feel the shock. Like when it touched me out of my consciousness, like I feel like it's a total stranger touching me, and I just shock. And
it's fine.
My current boyfriend I'm going out with now is always having issues with this. Like maybe I'm sitting on the couch and it touches me. I just freak out. Like
one thing I'll tell you is, don't allow anybody's view to define who you are.
You have less than 1 minute for this call. You have less than 1 minute for this call.
Who has less than 1 minute?
I don't know. Listen.
Yeah,
to listen.
Listen, even if it cuts. But one thing that I did back in the past was I allowed my ex-boyfriend's view of me to define who I was. So I said, he doesn't like me anymore, or he doesn't like me because I was abused for so and so years, and so I really must be worthless. And that ate into my mind, and I defined my whole existence based on that. So please don't. I want you to be fine. I want you. I don't know your name, but whoever your name, let's just say your name is Angel. Angel, I want you to be fine. I want you to know that everything will be okay. You are a survivor because you're here today and you called.
Right.
Yeah.
You made a phone call. You reached out to us. You are stronger than you think you are. Whoever this person is, he's out there. Just let him, you know what? He's out there. Just you do you and try to be the best you can be, because it's hard. And I totally understand. I would wake up some mornings, I would just start crying. It's really hard, but you will be fine. You will be fine. Try and reach out to us, and I would give you some resources, because we have lots of NGOs out here and who provide mental health care, because depression is real.
Yes, it is.
No matter how we try to deny it in this country, depression is real.
People.
Aftercare. Such a big deal.
Yeah.
Mental and physical.
Oh,
yeah, totally.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Especially that mental aspect.
Yeah.
So in my therapy, it lasted for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like get easier. It gets lighter.
Yeah.
It gets lighter. It does get easier, but it doesn't totally go away. It just gets lighter.
Yeah.
But every day. So Gloria, the fact that you're here today and you made this phone call, kudos to you, girl. I want to give you a hug.
Yeah.
You did well. You're strong. You're a strong woman.
Strong.
You did that.
Yeah.
It's
So
strong.
actually,
You did that.
we have looked into rape culture. We've seen different scenarios. We've talked about a lot of things. But if there is one thing I really want you guys to take home with you today is, we have seen the problem. Now let's work at the solution. What is the solution to this problem? Number one is prevention. From the beginning, we've already said it. Talk to your kids. Allow
Especially
them converse
boy
with you. You
children.
know, tell the boys no. Like Dami said, no means no. Secondly, when you begin to notice some particular behavior in your kids, but probably your son is walking and he spanks your daughter on the butt, correct it immediately. Let the child know that what you're doing is wrong. This thing you've done is wrong. And then when somebody finally tells you, when it actually does happen, and somebody tells you, please try your best to remain calm, listen, advise, and be there for the person.
The worst thing you can do as a friend, as a mother, as a brother, as a father, whatever it is, the worst thing you can do is look at someone in the face as they're telling you their trauma and deny it. You know, that's the worst thing you can do. That is even worse sometimes than the actual act itself, because that was what they were afraid of in the first place. And the only thing you're doing is giving power to the rapist. Because this is how these people continue. This is how they are able to move on and say, yeah, it's all lies. It's all lies. Because you're protecting them by not speaking up. And you need to speak up. Whether it's 2 minutes or 20 years, you need to speak up.
Speak up.
You know, don't be afraid to speak up. And don't be don't be ashamed either, because you did not do anything wrong.
It's not your fault.
It is not your fault. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. I'm going to keep saying it until you believe it. It is not your fault.
It's not
at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what we really want to take away from
all of this
tonight. Yeah.
But it still doesn't give those who lie about it a reason to do so.
Absolutely not.
No,
I think those people
condone that.
Those people are only hurting their fellow women. Do you know what I mean?
Because it makes it difficult for those who were actually
have been
raped
through this
to now come out and say I was raped.
And I really want to call on the government to do something about these laws.
But we play with this thing.
18 convictions, 10,000 women every day. That number, that is actual numbers on paper. This is not hypothetically speaking. This is not, oh, maybe. No, 10,000 women get raped daily, sexually assaulted in some way, shape or form daily. And there's only been 18 rape convictions in 50-something years
the type of, way.
of Nigeria.
It's disgusting.
So since they say bring evidence, probably we should start bringing evidence. So
But
speak up.
You can't find evidence everywhere all of the time. You know what I mean?
Get a good lawyer.
And not a lot of people can afford good lawyers. That's what's the problem.
Education we just have to keep enlightening them and letting them know that some things just aren't right.
And letting them know that foundations like yours exist. Could you tell people how to reach out to your foundation?
Imani Help Foundation, we're on Instagram. Our website is imanihelpfoundation.com. Our Instagram handle is Imani Help Foundation. Gmail, imanihelpfoundation@gmail.com. And you can call me. My number is out there for everybody. It's on my Instagram, my Twitter, 070-385-22997. I am not shy to talk about my story, and I just want to help everybody out there. And there's also, my friend has an NGO called Hands Off, and they teach consent. They go to schools. They just partnered with Google, actually. They started a very big thing. Her name is Lade, and they talk about consent. No means no.
No
You're
means
6
no.
years old. No means no. At 6, I shouldn't even have to give my consent. It's wrong. No, don't do it. But no means no. So there are lots of NGOs out there. So please reach out to me. 070-385-22997. Give you more information. Gloria, call me.
I will actually put Womie's details on our page, on my personal handle, Dami, DAMI_OKE, and I'll also actually put it on the Hot FM handle as well, so that you can reach out to her personally. And also, again, Womie was 6. Teach your kids young.
Yeah.
Young. Tell them from that very young age that, listen, if somebody wants to touch you yet, don't allow it, and make sure you tell me. But not too young.
If anyone is like battling with, the consent and the meaning of consent and how to define consent, because I know we kind of struggle with that out here. It's sort of like a grey area. Go online, go to YouTube and watch consent, consent. You can type in consent explained with T, or type in consent. It's a 2-minute and 51-second video, and it's a brilliant explanation on the concept of consent and just how to really grasp and come to terms with what consent actually is, and the no's and the yeses, and how it can be a grey area. Just go there, watch it. I guarantee you a child can understand it. My 2-year-old nephew can understand it, and an adult grown man and any woman can understand it. So go and watch that.
Thank you, girls, so much for coming. We have reached the end of the show already. I know it's 11. It is 10:58 already. Ladies, can you start by giving your personal handle so that people can reach out to you?
Okay, yeah, I'm at Tora Olaiya. That's TORAOLAIYA. That's TORAOLA. Indigo Yankee Alpha. If you understand the phonetics.
Womie?
I am at Womie. So boring. That's at Womie.
That's easy.
WOMIYE across board. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
And Lucy?
Lucy O'Hary on Twitter, Golden Girl on radio and Instagram.
Okay, Golden Girl.
Golden Girl, I'm ready.
You just changed your name.
Okay.
You go to another app and you say, look, let me put something different.
Golden Girl on radio.
Wow, variety the spice of life. That's right.
Gosh.
All right. Well, my personal handle is Dami, DAMI_OKE. I'll be posting all the information that you need about
Hot 93.3.